The headlines. Senate Committee on Federal Character moves to stop recruitment irregularities and job racketeering. House of Representatives warns public servants against political participation without resigning their appointments. Plus, state assemblies push reform agenda with fresh round of bills. Good evening and welcome to NTA Parliament News, reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Deborah Olumayowa. Now the news in detail. We begin the news with a report that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has communicated the Senate seeking confirmation of Zainab Marwa as a board member of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Zainab is to represent the Northeast Zone as required by the law. Her appointment, according to the communication, is to fill the vacancy created following the resignation of Abdulrazak Namdas, who left to contest for the governorship seat in Adamawa State. The Senate Committee on NDDC has been asked to screen the appointee and report back in 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has called for the strict compliance with constitutional provisions regulating political participation by public servants, insisting that government officials seeking elective offices must first resign their appointments. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
The last plenary of the week took off with political issues, specifically on the recently concluded party primaries. Members identified moves to undermine the Electoral Act provisions on public servants and political participation. A motion called for investigation against a reported case of a public servant who is alleged to have violated that provision.
A dangerous precedent that promotes rascality in public service and National Assembly agencies in particular will be established if urgent action is not taken to address the anomalies.
This motion is referred to the Committee on Legislative Library Research and Documentation for further legislative action.
Discussions on the appointment of minority leader degenerated into a rowdy session. It all started when a member from Benue State, Philip Abwese, accused Ikenga Ugochinyere of listing him among supporters of his bid for minority leader without his consent.
And I feel that my legislative privilege has been breached because this amounts to forgery for my signature to be used for purposes which not intended for.
Mr. Speaker, my brother arrived from Benue late for our meeting, met me in the office, and voluntarily, on his own and independently, pledged and signed my nomination for the post of minority leader.
I never did, Mr. Ikenga.
Mr. Speaker.
Eventually, the Speaker maintained his position that he will personally investigate the matter and brief the House in the next plenary.
Honorable Abese, your observations and complaints are duly noted. We will take action on the issue you have raised in due course.
The House cautioned government organizations against rejecting National Corps members. 6 members defected: Muhammad Shehu, Aminu Garu, Sani Tanko, and Mansour Soro, all from Bauchi State, left PDP for APM. Jeremiah Omaru from Nasarawa State moved to SDP from APC, while Adamu Hashimu, also from Bauchi State, said goodbye to APM and joined PRP. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Federal Character has raised concerns over allegations of recruitment irregularities and job racketeering in the Federal Civil Service. This came to the fore at an interactive meeting between the committee and the management of the commission. Chairman of the committee, Senator Ede Dafinone, emphasized that the committee will not fold its arms and allow such infractions to continue, insisting that fairness and accountability must serve as the yardstick for federal appointment.
institutions entrusted with safeguarding equity must themselves remain above reproach. This committee is also concerned about loopholes that enable some MDAs to circumvent established recruitment procedures, including the manipulation of nominal roles and the misuse of waiver provisions.
If it is possible, we would like this committee to help us to establish a special Federal Character Commission tribunal. This will fast-track the prosecution of those who fail to comply strictly with the federal character principles.
The Nigerian Senate has expressed satisfaction over the election of Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, as chairman of the UN General Assembly's Fifth Committee, the body responsible for the UN's budget and administration. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, while congratulating Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, said the election demonstrates that President Tinubu made the right choice in appointing him to represent Nigeria at the global body.
I want to extend our congratulations first to the President, who was able to fish out a square peg in a square hole, and also congratulate distinguished Senator Jimoh Ibrahim for his election as the chairman of that committee on budget and appropriation of the world body in such a short time, within a few weeks.
Until his appointment as Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim represented Ondo South in the 10th Senate. The Fifth Committee comprised all 193 UN member states.
Allow me to extend my sincere appreciation to all regional groups and delegations for the support and confidence. I also warmly congratulate and thank the Bureau colleagues, the Vice Chair and the Rapporteur, who are also affirmed or elected in this regard.
Similarly, the House of Representatives is supporting the candidacy of Nigerian-born United Kingdom nominee, Professor Dapo Akande, for a seat at the International Court of Justice for the 2027 to 2036 term. The endorsement was announced by the Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Okezie Kalu, when he granted audience to Professor Akande and officials of the British High Commission who visited the National Assembly. Kalu described the nomination as a recognition of shared legal values and said Africa's presence on the world's highest judicial bench is a matter of justice, not sentiment. He commended Akonde's academic and professional record, acknowledging his contributions to international law and global institutions.
We are here specifically seeking the support of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for this election, which will take place later this year. I'm very grateful and honored to be able to meet with all of you.
You are not British, maybe by naturalization, but by birth, we see you as Nigerian. You have really displayed competence, excellence in all the things you have done. When the world looks at the candidates before it, it will find Professor Dapo Akande, a scholar formed in Nigeria and carrying the endorsement of one of the world's most consequential democracies. Nigeria looks at that with pride, and we trust that the members of the General Assembly will look at it with the seriousness it deserves.
Welcome back to NTA Parliament News, and thanks for staying with us. Moving on now. The legislature is a key institution in any democracy. It is responsible for making laws, representing citizens, overseeing the executive, and providing a platform for public debate. In modern democracies, lawmaking is rarely straightforward. Legislators must often balance competing interests, expert advice, party positions, public opinion, and national priorities. Two major forces shape this process: lobbying and public opinion. Lobbying refers to the organized efforts by individuals, businesses, professional bodies, civil society groups, and other interest groups to influence public policy and legislation. Public opinion, on the other hand, reflects the views and preferences of citizens on issues affecting society and government. The interaction between these forces raises important questions about democratic representation, accountability, transparency, and the quality of legislation. At the heart of this discussion is the concept of deliberative democracy, a system that emphasizes informed discussion, reasoned debate, and meaningful public participation in decision-making. Legislatures are expected to serve as forums where competing interests are debated and reconciled in the public interest. Joining us via Zoom for more insight on the topic, the legislature and deliberative democracy, the role of lobbying and public opinion in lawmaking, is politician, public affairs analyst, and mechanical and aerospace engineering expert, Dr. Hilary Onyisi. Welcome to NTA Parliament News.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, my first question to you, sir. How should legislators balance the influence of lobby groups with the interest and expectations of the public when making laws?
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful questions. First of all, I want to say lobbying is something I feel like is good for democracy. However, the issue we have in Nigeria today is the fact that we do have a system that is not structured. In a well-structured framework, lobbying could be essential in advancing democracy. It could be essential in making sure that the legislators do their work effectively. So I think in Nigeria's system today, we basically do not have a well-structured framework. Therefore, lobbying can be detrimental to our today's democracy. And the reason why I say that is because in majority of the time, you will have people that probably have a lot of money, can sway the legislator from doing the right thing and making sure that all their legislative agendas are geared towards helping the masses.
Public opinion shape legislative decisions, especially when popular sentiment conflicts with expert advice or long-term national interests.
So this is a problem we have today. When you talk about lobbying, remember here, we have two aspects of lobbying. We have direct lobbying, whereby the individuals can engage with the lawmakers directly to discuss issues that are of importance to them. However, in grassroots lobbying, which means in a situation whereby the grassroots or the individuals that have been affected will be engaged in a constructive conversation, those are the aspects that can help in advancing democracy in Nigeria. It will also be beneficial to the well-being of the people.
It can be put in place to ensure greater transparency and accountability in lobbying activities within the legislature.
I think the measure that could be put in place today, one should be a regulation, effective regulations, because sometimes when there's no disclosure to what the lobbyists are doing, it is not good for democracy. But if the government is really sincere about making sure that lobbying is implemented properly in Nigeria, there should be a strong regulation. And then I think also in the Nigerian framework today, lobbying is not something that has an oversight. So the government does not checkmate what they're doing. They do it for their own personal gain. They do it for their own personal interest, especially for like all big corporations. They get involved with the legislators to sway the legislative agendas, not really for the public interest. So I think if anything has to be done that to advance democracy in Nigeria in terms of lobbying, that should be proper regulation. They should be checkmated to make sure that they are doing things in the right way.
In the age of social media, has public participation in lawmaking become more meaningful than before, for vulnerable misinformation and populist pressures?
Yeah, I think social media today have helped Nigeria actually, in a more progressive way, more especially because some people in a remote area, a remote part of Nigeria, they can use their cell phone to communicate issues affecting them. Even when the lawmakers do not really care about that, people can, use their phone, push their information through Facebook, Instagram, and it can go viral. So I think in today's Nigeria democracy, social media have actually helped the poor people to be able to communicate to the legislators what they are suffering, what their issues are.
Right, so thank you so much for your thoughts. We appreciate you for joining us, Dr. Hilary Onyisi, politician and public affairs.
Thank you.
Thank you once more. Moving on to the state assemblies, 2 health-related bills have passed second reading on the floor of the Kogi State House of Assembly. One of the bills seeks to provide for the prevention and control of littering and the defacement of public and private places, as well as other related matters, 2025. The second bill seeks to provide free maternal and neonatal healthcare services. Jacob Sani reports that the 2 bills were sponsored by the member representing Omala State constituency, Umar Yahaya.
Sponsor of the bills, Umar Yahaya, says the essence of the 2 bills is to safeguard the lives of mothers and newborn by removing financial barriers on essential healthcare services, while the other is to restore environmental order, protect public health, and instill a culture of cleanliness.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues, while the Kogi State government has undertaken commendable initiatives such as the maternal and neonatal mortality reduction, innovation, initiative and the maternal newborn child healthcare weeks, this effort requires a strong legal framework to ensure sustainability.
House member representing Igalamela Odolu, Olamaboro, Ajakuta State constituencies say the bills should be speedily passed because they are life-touching.
Not that the government is not giving out some materials, but the sustainability of it and they really putting it into use by our medical health personnel is another setback for us. And that is where we really need to synergize, to put a synergy on this legal framework.
Speaker thereafter read the position of the House.
Honorable, if you are in support that a bill for a law to provide for the prevention of and control of public littering and defacement of public and private places and for other related matters 2025 as proposed and lead debate by Umar Mala to go for second reading. If you are in support of the bill, say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
The bills are expected to pass through public hearing, where ministries, agencies, and other key stakeholders will have their inputs. Jacob Sani, NT News.
A bill to provide for the regulation of the public health security framework in Nasarawa State and for other matters connected thereto has been passed and forwarded to the governor for assent. Adams Abdulkadri reports that the Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Danladi Jatau, has also declared the 3rd annual legislative year recess.
The bill to regulate the public health security framework for the state passed its 3rd reading after the House crossed the T's and dotted the lines.
Public health security framework for Nassau State and other matters connected thereto. 3rd reading and passed.
Meanwhile, Speaker, Nasarawa State House of Assembly Danladi Jatau commends both ruling and opposition lawmakers for their harmonious working relationship, saying the experience in the last 3 legislative proceedings has been worthwhile.
Thank you very much. I don't even know how to express my thanks as regards to the support I have received from you. We have achieved a lot of things, and it's as a result of your support that you have given to me and the government of Nasarawa State.
He says the 7th Assembly under his leadership over the last 3 legislative years has achieved a lot, passed 37 bills and 28 impactful resolutions.
We're able to pass bills up to about 37, that is including the 2 passed today. And we have about 33 pending bills to be passed. And we were able to pass 28 resolutions in this hollow chamber that are very, very important to the good governance of the state.
The House will close commencing from 6 June 2026 to July 14, 2026.
In another development, the House reordered its order paper quoting Order 43 Sub 1 to include the report on Standing Committee on Judiciary on a bill to establish the Nasarawa State Multi-Door Court House, a private member bill sponsored by Esomeriga representing Lafia North was overwhelmingly passed for assent. During plenary, an amendment bill to the Education Trust Fund bill was reintroduced.
In favor of my name is a bill for a law to amend the Nasarawa State Education Trust Fund law 2025 and for other matters related therewith. First reading.
From the State House of Assembly, Adams Abdulkadri, NTA News.
Saliu Kaswa Dangoje, member representing Sakaba constituency, has emerged as the new Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly. Assembly correspondent Jafar Yusuf Ilo reports that Dangoje's emergence followed his unanimous endorsement by members during plenary.
Is there any other nomination to the office of Speaker? No.
During plenary, Deputy Speaker Mohammed Samaila Bagudo called for nominations to fill the vacancy following the death of the late Speaker, Mohammed Usman Zuru. Adamu Mohammed Beni Yauri nominated Salihu Kaswa Dangoje for the position, while Yusuf Haruna Gile of Fokai constituency seconded the nomination.
The person I nominated served in this chamber for 11 years. By serving in this chamber, that means that he has experience of legislative functions. He has experience of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So also, he is knowledgeable with the standing rules of this honorable house.
With no other nominations, Salihu Kaswa Dangoje emerged as the new Speaker of the Kebbi State House of Assembly. In his acceptance speech, he pledged to strengthen the leadership of the House and advance the development of Kebbi State.
I sincerely thank every member of this Assembly for your support and belief in my ability to serve. And I am deeply aware of the enormous responsibility attached to this office, and I pledge to discharge them with fairness, integrity, impartiality, unwavering commitment to the Constitution and the people of Kebbi State.
The clerk of the House thereafter declared Honorable Dangoje duly elected and administered the oath of office on him with the Holy Quran. In Burin Kebbi, Jafar Yusuf Ilo, NTA News.
From Delta State, the quest for a safer and crime-free state was the focus as the Commissioner of Police, Delta State Command, Yemi Oyeniyi, paid a familiarization visit to the State House of Assembly. During the visit, the police commissioner called for stronger collaboration between the police and the State Assembly, stressing the need for sustained partnership in enhancing security across the state. Godfrey Nzekwe reports.
Speaking during the familiarization visit to the Delta State House of Assembly in Asaba, the Commissioner of Police, Delta State Command, Yemi John Oyeniyi, called for stronger collaboration between the police and the legislature to enhance security and make the state crime-free. He said the partnership aligns with the mandate of the Inspector General of Police to ensure the safety of lives and property, identifying illicit drug abuse, cultism, and gender-based violence as key challenges requiring collective action and legislative support. Oyeniyi also expressed his commitment to working closely with the Assembly to address security concerns and promote the overall development of the state.
We've discovered that some of these crime prevention activities or crime going on in the state need some legislative input. You cannot take somebody, arrest him, or take him to court without any law that establishes to be an offense, without any edict from the council or from the law from the state that promulgates such an act. That is the reason why we have to come to enable us, let you know some of this, to enable us discuss with you on some of this, and to enable us know the way forward.
Responding, the Speaker, Emomotimi Guwo, commended the Commissioner of Police for the visit and reaffirmed the legislature's readiness to support the police in maintaining peace and security across the state. The Speaker highlighted the lawmaking role of the Assembly and reiterated the House's commitment to initiatives aimed at strengthening security. He also noted the challenges encountered in the implementation of some Assembly's resolutions and stressed the need for greater cooperation among relevant stakeholders.
In recent time, we as a House will also face some challenges as to implementation of some of our decisions, because there are some decisions, some resolutions taken by the House where we need the command to see how they can help us implementing those resolutions. Sometimes there are some challenges as to implementing them, because ours is to make law. We expect all the branches of government to implementing these laws.
Guwo further charged the police command to always engage the Assembly whenever the need arises, assuring lawmakers continued support in advancing measures that will enhance security and public safety in Delta State. In Asaba, Godfrey Nzekwe, NTA News.
That concludes NTA Parliament News. Join us for this and other programs on our social media handles displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant evening. I'm Deborah Olumayowa.